Welcome to My Long Island TV. From Manhasset to Montauk, we have traveled our communities to bring you the following events. I'm your host, Waldo Cabrera. My Long Island TV starts now.
It's a really cool store that I opened about 5 years ago, and it mixes vintage and old and new. I actually work with vintage pieces. I sometimes take them apart. If I feel there's a print that really inspires me, I take the piece apart and I remake it into either a blouse or a dress or even a pair of pants or something that would be really fun and cool that would work on a contemporary styling as well. A vintage store is so fun to be in because there's so many finds everywhere. Like this store here, I have clients that come in here and they're lost for hours in this store. Literally, we had two clients, mom and her daughter, were in here for 4 hours last week just picking through jewelry, belts, and having a really good time. You know, people see something in vintage that brings them back to a place that they hold in their heart, maybe. I know for myself, I kind of loved the 80s, and late 70s, early 80s, so I kind of love things in that direction.
When did you know that you wanted to work in fashion?
I think watching my niece with her Barbie dolls. I started making clothes for her because I didn't have money to buy her a gift when we were kids. So I sat down at a machine and I cut out dresses and I made her these spectacular dresses that she was the envy of the block. So I was like, you know what, this is fun, and I really enjoyed it, and I went from there, and I've always been interested in fashion and dresses and women's wear, and I think that was the first introduction to it for me. A couple of people have asked me before who is my customer, and I don't know, Cecile and I laugh because we could have 2 or 3 12-year-old girls in here going through the ring bin and looking for antique rings, up to someone in her 70s coming in here for an evening dress. So there's something for everyone in this store, age-wise. Everyone wants to look young. No one wants to look, you know, their age. So basically, what I find for their daughters, which is short, sexy, young, fun type of clothing, the moms mostly kind of want to be that way, just maybe more age appropriate, I would say. And basically, it's similar colors, similar prints, but you know, a mom may want more of her shoulders covered, and there's not too big a difference except for maybe hem lengths and how much they want to show.
One time I had the largest collection of vintage alligator, crocodile, and ostrich skin bags possibly in the world. When I was younger, I really couldn't afford the nice bags, so I would actually restore some alligator bags, and I would put maybe brooches on them, and I would change the hardware up on them. And one day somebody stopped me. I was walking up to Madison Avenue. They stopped me. I heard a car screeching, and they came to a halt, and this lady runs out of the car and she says to me, "Where'd you get that bag?" I said, "Well, it's kind of my bag. I kind of made it myself." And she said, "Well, I'll give you $2,000 for it." And, well, wait a minute. No. I ran into a diner. I got a to-go bag, put all my stuff in it, gave her the bag, and she wrote me a check. And then I told my therapist about it, and she said, "You need to start a business." And that's how I decided to start the business. I originally bought this bag right here, and it was just actually this bag. I bought it for $2. I reglazed it. I put a brooch there. I put a handle on it, and I made it into a nice little summer bag. And it's very affordable, whereas if you go into a store and try to buy a new alligator bag, you're going to spend upwards of $2,000 to $3,000. And this bag right here is $50. I'm not a trendy clothes person. As a matter of fact, my son had his bar mitzvah, and I wore a vintage dress that I actually paid 50 cents for it. People would come up to me all the time and say, "Whose dress is that? Whose dress is that?" And I would say, "St. Gertrude's attic." I don't know. But you can accessorize it with amazing things and make it look like $1 million. You can look just as beautiful buying a vintage gown, which is probably going to last you longer, and it's probably made a lot better, and people will come up to you and be amazed, like, I've never seen that before, where did you get that? And a lot of people come here, from people going to fairs to girls getting their prom dresses. They love vintage. What I love to do is pick out something unexpected that would really make what they're wearing pop. If you're going to buy a piece of jewelry, maybe a piece of Kenneth J. Lane jewelry, save up and buy that one thing that you know will always appreciate and value. Owning vintage is like owning a piece of Americana, as far as I'm concerned. It's a piece of history.